Have you ever waited for someone so long that waiting became a part of who you are? Have you ever missed someone you barely remember, yet feel their absence every single day? This is not a movie story. This is not fiction. This is a true emotional life story about love, loss, silence, and a reunion that took 27 years to happen. My name is Emily Carter. I live in Ohio, United States. I am 34 years old now, but this story begins when I was just 7. I remember that morning clearly. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels heavy even when you're a child. My father was standing near the door, tying his shoes slowly. I was sitting on the floor, playing with my dolls. He looked at me, smiled softly, bent down, and kissed my forehead. He said, "I'll be back soon, Pumpkin." I smiled back at him. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He was my father. Fathers don't lie to their little girls. I watched him walk out the door. I didn't know that would be the last time I'd see him for 27 years. That night I kept checking the door. Every small sound made my heart jump. I thought it was him coming back. The next day, I waited again. And the day after that, days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. But my father never came home. At first, I didn't understand what was happening. I thought maybe he was on a long trip. Maybe his car broke down. Maybe he got lost. Every evening, I sat near the window watching the street. I imagined his car turning the corner. I imagined him walking toward the house, smiling, saying sorry for being late. My mother tried to stay strong. She cooked, cleaned, worked, and smiled for me. But at night, when she thought I was asleep, I heard her crying. I didn't know what divorce meant. I didn't know what depression or addiction meant. I only knew one thing. My father was gone. People around me stopped talking about him after some time. It was like he never existed. But for me, he existed everywhere. In my memories, in my dreams, in the empty chair at the dinner table. At school, teachers asked us to draw our families. I always drew my father, even though he wasn't there. Other kids talked about their dads teaching them how to ride bikes or helping them with homework. I listened quietly. I didn't want to explain why my father never showed up for school events. I didn't want to explain why no one came for Father's Day. Every birthday, when I blew out the candles, I wished for the same thing. I wished my father would come back. I didn't wish for toys or gifts. I only wanted him. Years passed. I grew older. Slowly, hope turned into confusion, and confusion turned into pain. By the time I was a teenager, I stopped asking questions out loud. But inside, my mind was full of them. Why did he leave? Did he love me? Was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? I asked my mother once when I was around 13. She looked tired. She looked sad. She said, "Your father was lost in his own pain." That answer didn't help me. It didn't fill the empty space in my heart. As I grew up, his absence shaped me in ways I didn't understand at the time. I became quiet. I became careful. I learned not to expect too much from people, because expecting leads to disappointment. That's what life had taught me. When friends talked about their families, I smiled and changed the topic. When movies showed loving fathers, my chest felt tight. I told myself I didn't need him anymore. I told myself I was strong. But strength doesn't mean you stop missing someone. It just means you learn how to hide the pain. In my 20s, relationships were hard for me. Every time someone got close, I waited for them to leave. I didn't trust love. Because the first man, who was supposed to love me forever, disappeared without saying goodbye. I watched other women walk down the aisle with their fathers holding their hands. I wondered what that felt like. I wondered if my father ever thought about those moments. I wondered if he remembered my voice. By the time I turned 30, I accepted a painful truth. I might never know what happened to him. I might never get answers. I carried that acceptance like a quiet sadness that never fully leaves. Then one night, everything changed. It was late. I couldn't sleep. I was scrolling through social media without thinking. I don't know what made me do it. Maybe loneliness. Maybe curiosity. Maybe hope that refused to die. I typed his name into Facebook. Michael Carter. Thousands of results appeared. I almost closed the app. Then I saw a picture. An older man standing near a fishing boat in Florida. His hair was gray. His face had lines. But his eyes stopped me. They looked familiar. They looked like mine. My hands started shaking. I clicked the profile. His birthday matched. His hometown matched. My heart was pounding so loudly I could hear it. I stared at the screen for a long time. I was scared. What if I was wrong? What if he didn't want to hear from me? What if he rejected me? After 30 minutes, I typed a message. My fingers felt heavy. Hi, I don't know if this is strange. My name is Emily. I think you might be my father. I pressed send. Then I panicked. I threw my phone on the bed like it could burn me. Minutes passed. Then hours. I told myself not to expect anything. 2 hours later, my phone buzzed. I picked it up. My heart almost stopped. Emily, I've been waiting my whole life for this message. I couldn't breathe. I started crying. Real deep crying. The kind that comes from years of silence, breaking all at once. We talked that night. For hours. He told me he was my father. He told me he never forgot me. He told me his side of the story. After my parents divorced, he fell into deep depression. He turned to alcohol. He felt ashamed. He felt like he failed as a husband and a father. He believed we were better off without him, so he disappeared. Not because he didn't love me, but because he hated himself. He said every birthday of mine, he cried alone. He said he kept my childhood photo in his wallet for years. He said he wanted to reach out many times, but fear stopped him. I felt anger. I felt sadness. But more than anything, I felt relief. I finally knew the truth. He didn't forget me. He didn't stop loving me. We talked every day after that. Slowly, carefully. Healing doesn't happen fast. 3 months later, I booked a flight to Florida. I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. How do you meet someone who is both a stranger and your father? At the airport, I saw a man holding a small sign that said, Emily. He looked older than my memories, but when our eyes met, something inside me recognized him. We stood there for a second, frozen. Then we walked toward each other. Then we ran. He hugged me tightly. He kept saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't speak. I just cried. 27 years of missing him came out in that moment. We spent days together, talking, sharing memories, filling gaps. He showed me letters he wrote but never sent. He showed me a box where he kept my old photos. I realized something important. Sometimes people don't leave because they don't care. Sometimes they leave because they don't know how to survive their own pain. Today we talk every week. We are rebuilding slowly. We can't get those lost years back, but we have now, and sometimes now is enough. If you're watching this and missing someone, don't lose hope. Life has strange ways of bringing hearts back together. Some reunions take time, but when they happen, they heal more than just the past. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched your heart, please like and subscribe. More true emotional life stories are coming. Because real stories remind us that love never truly disappears.